Advertising has become almost stressful, and the worst part is that businesses have no way of finding out if they're even getting a return on their promotions. Today's options are overwhelming, and nobody wants to be a number on a spreadsheet, but you don't have to be. There's no hiding the fact that digital promotions need to be a priority, but like most things in our society, businesses are following the herd and doing things because other businesses are doing it. It's hurting companies when they spend hundreds and in some cases thousands on click ads and search engine optimization without realizing that all of your competitors are doing the same thing. If there's 75 plumbers in a region, you can't all be on the first page of a search engine. Who spends the most is the one that gets it. And it's not a trap, it's just how it works. Remember the story about a truck that got stuck under a bridge? All the engineers were wondering what to do, and it took the kid on his bicycle to say, why don't you just let some air out of the tires? Well, today's promotional options have gotten confusing, mostly because of variety, but you need to think simple. Digital advertising has a lot of rewards if you know how it works, but it's also been customized to be confusing. That forces businesses to take advice from people that don't know much about marketing. What they do is they sell advertising. When they're done with you, they move on to the next one, and they're not trained to help you grow your business. They're trained in body language, and they're trained in how to get you to say yes. There's a lot of money in advertising for you if you understand it, and the best results that you can get from something we all need, digital exposure, is being done wrong. Spending thousands of dollars on search engine optimization and pop-up banners that seem to irritate people, that's not how you get results. It's being done because that's where the money is, but for the people that are selling it. Here's how you make money with digital. People go to Google and they search plumber, and here you are blindly hoping that the money you invested is going to be put somewhere on that first page so you come up on the top results. What you don't realize is that your competitors did the same thing. You can't all be on top. Instead, what you want to do is go out into the community and become a part of your industry. Go to trade shows and cater to new residents, not to sell, but just to let them know that you exist. Sponsor events that do things that make your business popular in the community. And now when people go to Google, they don't type in plumber, they type in ABC Plumbing, the name of your company. When you do this, you can eventually back off your promotions. You get twice the results for half the cost. I said something a while back at a meeting, and people thought that I said it by accident. I said, you don't grow your business by advertising. You do it by getting popular, and you keep it by solving people's problems. People were surprised that I said that because the publication company I was representing draws revenue from advertising dollars. That company still has a 98% customer retention rate. It has for 15 years, probably the Florida state record that'll never be broken, with no sales staff. Figure that one out. It's done because of one thing. Most businesses that depend on advertising revenue spend 95% of their efforts on selling the next ad. And then they throw some kind of partial information together at the last minute. Years ago, a competitor that's not around anymore, they had a map of community boat ramps that listed 7. This area has almost 50. They didn't even try. I often practice something that I picked up from Walt Disney. When in doubt, do the opposite, because Walter felt that most people are wrong most of the time. This publication puts 95% of its efforts into maintaining a product that people want because it has information and community value. That cuts sales staff and a lot of other overhead back, which is why we can charge less and actually profit more. I'd love to get an award for that, but it'll never happen to something that's just so simple. Don't think about my company, think about yours. What we do to get the results that we get doesn't weigh a lot, so you don't have to be strong. It doesn't take a degree in anything like advanced science or chemistry, and it doesn't care if you're male or female. It's find out what people want and give it to them. We're back to that kid saying, let some air out of the tires. Keep it simple. Less than 1% of the businesses in the US have done a survey as to what their customer wants. Business owners and managers, they assume that they know. If you're serious about this, do a survey and know that it's useless if it's not anonymous. A questionnaire in a self-addressed envelope, no return address, watch what comes back, but it has to be anonymous or it's not going to be accurate. The confusion in today's hundreds of ways to promote has been a blessing if you look for one thing, and that one thing is information. Information has always been the most priceless item known to mankind, from evading dinosaurs to the ability to look up health information on the internet. This is why TV commercials cost more during the news. It's where the information is. And sometimes even more when something is hot, like American Idol was a few years ago, because it's popular. Our publication is popular because people didn't come here to go hiking. Even if they're not a boater, they're still interested in the coastal community. And I am absolutely puzzled that the information that we publish every month for free, it covers from Bonita Beach all the way to Venice, and it can only be found in this publication. The only source on the internet is our website. Every boat ramp, including Lake Okeechobee, every water access restaurant, details about the shipwrecks off of our coast, every place you can buy fuel on the water, a list of dive shops, every bait and tackle shop, and a lot more articles than fishing reports. And it puzzles me that there's no other one-stop source like this in any other region of the whole state of Florida. Years ago, we had several worthy competitors, and there's only one left. They have 4 or 5 paid accounts while we maintain, I don't know, maybe 70 or so. They have a nice shiny cover, but they don't have any information. What does your company have? Because what you want to do is solve people's problems. That's what we did. We solved the problem of trying to find everything that you need all in one place. A problem is that service companies don't show up on time. Companies put you on hold and then you get disconnected. A product breaks and customers are not a priority because the money's already changed hands. These are solvable problems. Solve those for your customers and then they talk about you. People believe what other people tell them. That's how you get to maintain a popularity. That grows your business. And none of that involved buying advertising. That's what I was trying to explain at that meeting. Another practice that has served us well is that we don't look at the advertisers as the main clients. The people that pick up the product to us are the main clients. If you please them, the advertisers are thrilled. And if you send salespeople in to visit with donuts and pizzas, now you've got customers wondering why you're not out there doing what they were paying you to do. Again, don't think about my company. Think about yours. Where are you focusing your attention, and are you getting a return on it? Are you giving your customers what they want? As far as promotional options, I think the value of radio is coming back, and I'm a fan of television advertising, although today there's hundreds of channels to flip through, and you get the remote control you can fast forward to. That might hurt a little bit of being seen, but I'd stick to the news if you're interested in TV. It costs a little bit more, but at least you know people are watching. I prefer what they call bookends in television. It plays when a show goes to a commercial, so people see you right before they have a chance to flip channels, and then it plays again right before the show comes back. There's other commercials in between. They call that the bookends. So people get the chance to see you or both, and maybe you're the only one that they saw. And you need to know that if a station reaches 400,000 households, that doesn't mean that 400,000 people are going to see you. Don't buy numbers. Publications do this with the word readership. Ask them what the physical circulation is. I once was quoted 460,000 readership. It turned out they only printed 60,000. I saved the best for last, the differences between advertising, marketing, and branding. People that sell advertising, that talk about marketing, throw them out. They sell advertising. It's two different talents. Do your own marketing by completing this one statement. Do business with our company because... Answer that question and you're part of a tiny percentage of Americans' business population. Most businesses can't answer that with something that will cause people to make the emotional decision to want to do business with you. My dog could buy advertising. Advertising is a matter of buying something that displays your marketing message. But most businesses bypass the marketing step and they skip straight to the advertising. What is it that you're advertising? Ever see the coolest commercial and then you forgot what the product was? That was because their marketing message wasn't properly established. Branding. This has become an abused word because the words advertising and marketing have become so misleading. Branding is not the color of your logo. People do business with you for the same reasons that they always have. Women, hold the men down. It's how they feel about your company. We're emotional creatures, and that's not going away. If your logo is a different shade of blue, they could care less, but they do care about how they feel about doing business with you. That feel is why they tell their friends, which leads to word of mouth. Everyone agrees that's the best form of advertising. This is where it comes from. That leads to online reviews. Whether you believe it or not, they believe it when they read it. Whether someone else is going to do business with you is dependent on it. If someone in a store says, sorry, that's our policy, and then they walk away, how did you feel? Did you feel like going somewhere else next time? And worse, did the owner of the business even know that that happened? You don't need me for most of this. What you do need to know is that you can only focus 100%. When your focus gets split into dozens of different facets, which is basically life today, it's hard to know which thing needs the most attention. What you need is for someone to force you to understand that how society sees your business has to be a priority. Don't let your focus get so spread out that your company's long-term branding doesn't get the attention that it needs or deserves. You need your company? Well, sometimes it needs you. You didn't go into business to repeat the same process for 7 days and then repeat that 52 times a year and call that your life. Don't be a statistic that wakes up a year later wondering why things aren't changing.